Hey, what's up guys, this is your boy Dirk. I'm coming back at you for another video. In this video we're going to be breaking down weapons in the Division 2 and basically everything you need to know about them, whether that be gear, their talents, their mods, and just how everything works in the Division 2 because it has changed significantly. So let's get right into it. So let's start off with that's going to be your most powerful weapon, which is going to be your class weapon. So that could either be a 50 cal, a grenade launcher, or a crossbow depending on your class. So the ammo for these weapons will be very scarce, so you're going to have to use them wisely, but they're very powerful. To my knowledge, you can't get a different 50 cal or like a different grenade launcher for your classes, but that is to be seen. That could easily change. And of course, the last thing to know about the class weapons is that you can only unlock them at level 30. So that's it for the signature weapons. Now let's talk about your regular weapons, the weapon customizations, and this is going to be the meat of the video because there's a lot of things that have changed here. So let's get right into it. So the first change to weapon customization is that you no longer have to grind for your attachments. Instead, you're going to be able to unlock them, like let's say Call of Duty, like at a certain threshold, but instead of at a certain threshold, you buy them from a certain vendor. So then they're going to have fixed stats and they're always going to have a minus and a plus, which is really good because I didn't like grinding for the attachments and stuff, so that's just something to get rid of. And it opens more build diversity because there was a plus and minus to where like the magazines, it was like kind of like irrelevant, the minus, but I think the minuses are going to be significant here. Next, we got the weapons themselves, and I think for the most part there's all the models that were brought back. I don't think we're going to be seeing many new weapons in the actual Division 2 release because you got to get those weapons licensed by the actual company, but I have seen the Spaz 12 and an AK-74 that's an exotic, so I'll put these up on screen. Now let's move on to the talents because that's going to be another big part of your weapons, and we have got a lot of new talents and they'll interact with gear differently now that we don't have the main stats that we did in the Division 1. So let's get right into that. So while we don't have a full list of talents, I think that talents have changed so much that they deserve a little category of their own in this video. So for high-end weapons, you still have 3 talents per weapon, but how these talents are chosen has changed dramatically because now you have three categories that your talent can fall under. You can have an active talent, a weapon handling talent, or a holster talent. Your active talent is going to be more interactive, so it's going to be stuff like, let's say, Unforgiving from the Division 1, where it requires you to do something or be at a certain health to be able to activate this talent. Your handling talent is going to be something more of like a general stat boost, like plus fire rate or plus stability or plus accuracy. You're not really going to need to do anything, just have like the required main stats, just for lack of a better word, because you do have requirements on these talents like you did in the Division 1. And last but not least, you have your holster talent, which is kind of like running Alpha Bridge at all times because you're going to have your holster talent on one of your primaries that's going to be active at all times because you're not using both of your primaries at the same time, and you're going to have one on your pistol. So it's kind of like running 4 talents on your weapons at the same time, and you do got to keep in mind that that holster talent, generally speaking, will not be active on your primary weapon when you're using it. That is not to say that there isn't exceptions, because there's a couple exceptions, but those are kind of here and there, so we're not going to talk about those right now, and those are also subject to change since this is only the beta. Again, talking about the so-called, for now we're going to call them main stats, your weapons will need a certain amount for different talents, but it's not going to be like it was in the Division 1 where it's a certain threshold like 2,600 firearms at least to be able to run deadly, for example. In the Division 2, it's more like you have to have a certain amount of these boosts. It doesn't matter how much they boost it for, just a certain amount of these boosts to be able to unlock the talent. So let's say I have to have like 6 boosts to my armor to be able to run a certain talent. So I hope that makes sense. Now that we're done with that, I just want to get some little things out the way, just some notable things that are in the Division 2 right now. So for one, I think it was Wiz that asked the developer if there was going to be stagger on shotguns and on snipers, and the developer said no, but as of currently we do have stagger on snipers and shotguns. So in PvP, if you get hit by a sniper or a shotgun, you get staggered, which sucks. In my opinion, that has to be removed as soon as possible because that's going to make shotgun builds a lot stronger, and it's going to be like 1.6, 1.7 all over again. Last thing that I know that is notable is that we no longer have a DPS like signature on our weapons anymore. So I know that's a lot of players had trouble with in the last game, where they were like, oh, my DPS is higher, so my damage must be higher. No, we now have damage, RPM, and mag as the simple stats that show up on your UI. And now that we're talking about UI, the UI has been severely overhauled, which now helps you reflect the different things that are going on in your weapon better. We also have damage drop off, and like so you no longer have to be able to go to training and then like set a waypoint. Now it tells you when your damage drops off. So those are all things that I think are notable. I'm just gonna do a quick recap and we'll end the video there. So quick recap. Weapon mods don't have to be grinded for anymore. You can unlock them from a vendor. Weapons have many different talents, and talents have been classified under 3 categories: active talents, weapon handling talents, and holster talents. Now you have different weapons. We're gonna see a lot new exotics because of course it's a new game. The Spaz 12, which was different, but I don't expect to see many more weapons. And the main stats don't factor as much into your talents, as in fact you're probably gonna have only like maybe one talent in your weapon that needs or requires a certain main stat goal, which is not really a main stat because we don't have main stats in the division, but instead we have different things you can spec towards. So yeah, that's a quick recap of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.